this when it happens. I got woke up in the middle of the night, on and off. I finally decided to go ahead and get on up. I was having an ongoing freaking nightmare. I hate those things. It's so real, so vivid, that I could feel what was going on in the dream. I could hear the people screaming and running. And it started off as a normal, happy-go-lucky dream. You know, everything was perfect. Everything was fine. And then I was looking out the window. And I was watching the birds. And I started seeing people running and screaming and yelling. And I'm like, this is weird because I don't have a view of a gas station from where I sit to watch the birds. And so I get up and I go to turn stuff on to see what's going on, to look at my phone and go on YouTube and to see what's happening. Why are these people running and screaming like this? And I wasn't getting any phone calls or texts from family members or anything, you know? And so I ran across the street, and I don't know why it was stupid, but I did. I ran across the street, and I asked the gas station attendant what was going on, and they said there was major reports. People were panicking because other people that weren't supposed to be here were like going around and shooting up, firing up, and laying others down right where they stood, whether it was at the gas station, the grocery store, walking down the street, or in their house. But it wasn't happening there yet. The gas station attendant had told me in my dream. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And people were like, you better find a place to hide. You better find a place to hide. I was like, I've been preparing for this for my entire freaking life just about. What do you, what's going on? Let's get out of here. I was talking to some perfect strangers. And I got with them. There was about 5 or 6 of them. And it was the weirdest thing because some of the cars worked and some of the cars didn't work. Some of the cell phones worked, some of the cell phones didn't work. And I thought, how odd is that? And so as me and this group of people that I've joined up with in my dream, my nightmare, are walking away from the gas station, it was the oddest thing because the cars were like in slow motion, pulling in and pulling out, pulling in and pulling out, like in a circular 8 motion, pulling in and pulling out. But no one was getting gas because it was all gone. And they were going to somewhere else, but they were all panicked. And they were just driving around, and me and this group of people, we see this like this art commune type thing. It's beautiful. It's got such beautiful artwork and craftsman stuff and, things on the outside of it, you can tell it's where, they sell art and stuff, like on the weekends at a bazaar or like farmer's market type thing. And we're going around, we're going quickly, looking and checking the doors and this, that, and the other. And this lady comes to the steps. She says, "Y'all come on in. The time's come. Y'all come on in." And it's me and her husband. There's another man with me. I don't know who he is, but I know he's a man. There's a woman and her husband. They've got like 2 teenage kids. And then there's another woman, and she's a little bit on the slow side. You know what I'm saying? And the woman that answered the door, she says, "Y'all come on in. Come on in. We've got to get to the spot where we need to be." And I said, "Yes, we do. It's bad out there. Have you seen what's going on?" I said, they're riding down the street and they're jumping out of their cars, and who's ever on the street, they're mowing them down with, those guns that they got. And the lady said, yes. She said they're going door to door. The neighborhoods, they gang up together and they're going door to door. And you can't tell them from one person or the next until they pull out their guns and start shooting you. I said, "Is this going on everywhere?" And she said, yes. She said, "It's an attack." She said they've armed all those people they let come over here, and they're attacking Americans. I was like, oh my God, okay, we gotta figure out what's going on, because this was not my plan. I told her my plan was to be somewhere else when this shit happened. I've got everything I need, but I can't get to it. It's on the other side of town. It was the weirdest thing, because in the beginning of the dream, I walked out of my front door to a gas station. But now I'm suddenly all the way across town somewhere. And her husband motions to us all. And he says, "Come on," he said, "you're going to have to get wet. You have to hold your breath." I said, okay. So he goes, and we're all standing in this side room of their little artist commune thing, and it leads to a bathroom. And he goes to turn the light switch, but it's really not a light switch. It's a lever, and it lifts up the bathtub. But the weird thing is, you have to walk down the steps that are submerged in water. And then when you get to the bottom of the steps, he's on the other side and you come up. But you have to hold your breath, and you come up into another chamber. And then you get out, and that was their shelter, massive shelter. And so I did that. And I could see him reaching his hand out to me. And he said, "Come on, I got you." And he helps me up out of that water, and I climb out, and the lady's giving us all towels, and they're so fresh, and they smell so good. They're so soft and thick. And everybody is crying and scared. They all get down there. And one of their scouts comes and says, "They're across the street. We got to get ready. They're across the street. They might get in." And we're bugged in. We're bugged in their shelter up underneath their house thing. And we can hear them. We can hear them going through everything and knocking everything and just terrorizing everybody. You can hear screams and yells and gunshots. And then quiet. It's quiet. Very quiet. And the little slow girl, she's over there in the corner. She's probably in her 20s. She's over there in the corner, and you can tell she's starting to freak out. So I go over there and I try and comfort her. Let her know that it's okay. You know, everything's gonna be okay. And I told y'all this was a nightmare. Anyway, we get her calmed down. And we can hear them. They found the lever. And they're coming through. But they had a back way out. They had another way out. And so we're running to get out of the bunker because they've infiltrated it. And the woman and the husband with the 2 kids, the teenage kids, they got killed. They were shot in the back. The special girl, she got killed. The man who owned the place with the woman, they stayed and they defended it and they died. And as I'm looking back with the 2 people that I leave with, because we're in a panic, we're getting out of there. We don't have the equipment that they've got to fight back. We don't have it. We find a vehicle that we can get in, and I turn around and I look, and they were like fire ants on a piece of chicken meat, devouring those people. And as we were driving off, I was like, we've got to get somewhere. And I woke up.